Yes, people, welcome back to another episode of Barbershop Talks. Today on the chair we have DJ KMS, Jo-ell, and myself, the certified barber. Let's get straight into this, bro.
Uncle, thank you for coming on, bro. Can you give us a bit of background before everything started, all the DJing, everything?
Yeah, well, obviously I'm from Leicester,
Yep.
Midlands, UK. And back in the day, Leicester used to have a place, Highfields, which was like Caribbean community. So like 80% Caribbean immigrants, white people, Asian people. So yeah, that's where I grew up. And obviously being a Caribbean area, reggae music, sound systems, and being a just general scallywag around there. Yeah, so that's where I come from. And you have to remember as well, it's not just unique to Leicester, but it's the only time in Leicester where a black community, especially Caribbean community, lived en masse, first time and the last time. Because, even the police were apprehensive to come round to Highfields, Or if somebody, not necessarily me, is getting chased from town or wherever, the minute you cross that border into Highfields, there's a good chance the police would stop.
Yeah.
And turn around and go back. So real tight community. And like I said, mostly Caribbean people, but Asian people, generally Indians actually, and white people, a lot of Irish immigrants, and English people as well, yeah. But that's where I grew up, born and bred, for my sins,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And you're smashing it with your DJing, man.
Thank you.
You're smashing it. So, to get to where you are now, how long is it kind of took you to get there, and what's been involved with the whole thing, man?
Yeah, it's a weird one saying to get there, because like when I first started, and especially in hip hop culture, so we have a thing where we didn't want to sell out. Yeah, we got to make it a certain way. So, like I say, growing up around Highfields, before I was a DJ, hip hop came along. So reggae was there, all of that. Then hip hop came along, and hip hop had breakdancing. And I'm like 12 or 13. So breakdancing is the thing. But it also had the DJing and the MCing and everything. But I'd go to places like, so we'd get on a train at 13 and go to Nottingham to go to Rock City in the daytime. Old enough to get in. We'd get in and they'd be breaking. But I remember this day, a guy was on the turntables and he was doing scratching from one turntable to the other. And I've seen it on TV, but I've never seen it in real life. So I went over, stopped breaking, and I stood there just mesmerized. Wanted to be able to do it. That's what I wanted to do. But where's a soppy 13-year-old going to get the money to get the equipment to do that?
Yeah, because it ain't cheap, man.
But ingenuity, that's another thing back in the day as well. So what I used to do was I learned to scratch on my mum's radiogram. It's a terrible thing it was. It wasn't a turntable, it was like, had a radio built in and everything else. Get a tape recorder, put some music on that, and then learn to scratch to the music in rhythm,
Yes, yeah.
But when I first tried it, and I tried to scratch, the record wouldn't go back. I'm like, wow. When I see it on TV, the record goes back. I noticed I had a massive rubber thing on it, took the rubber thing off it, put some paper or something on it, bam, spun back, like it did on the TV. And so that's how I learned scratch. So I could scratch long before I had any equipment. And I used to make these tapes as well. So I used to make these tapes of me scratching to whatever. Sometimes my mum coming in the background saying, "Turn like that." But sitting around somewhere one time, chilling, and there was an older dude, and he's like, "Who did this tape? Who did the scratching on there?" I said, "I did it." He said, "You didn't do this. Don't believe you." I said, "All right, then wait here. I'm going to go home now," because I really wanted to impress him. Yeah. Ran home, set my thing up, did a bit of scratching, ran back to this girl's yard where everybody was hanging about, played it to him. He was like, "Wow." So he says to me, next day, he says, "Tomorrow, come round my house." So I went round his house. He had the whole setup, man, 1200s, mixer, records, everything. He said, "Do what you do." Put instrumental on, getting a bit of scratching. He was amazed. He was like, He said, come back round here tomorrow and show me again. And when I left, I thought, I ain't going back round there. I know I'm better than you. I've just proved to myself that I know more than you, so I'm never coming back round there. I'm going to try my hardest to get some equipment. But that didn't happen for many years. Eventually, because I thought you had to buy everything new. And so I didn't think that I could afford equipment. But I met this kid. He's called DJ S. I met him at college. And he said, nah, man, I'll take you to some second-hand shops and you'll see how cheap turntables and mixers and all that shit. Oh, sorry. You'll see how cheap it is. So he took me, long story short, he took me, he showed me. I got another turntable from some other kid I knew from school. And then I had my little setup. And in my head, I thought, right, here we go now. Start mixing this stuff. Put the first record on, put the second one on. It was just a pile of rubbish. There was no mixing happening at all. Because I didn't understand that these guys were moving the pitch about. I'm like, why are they just mixing? As I started messing about it, I'm on them every day now. I've got these things. I'm on them every day. I get up. I don't even get dressed. I just get on them turntables. And eventually I had to put a clock on them because to let me know how much time's gone. But eventually I sussed. These guys manipulate the pitch to match the beat of that. And
you have to really understand it.
You really had to understand it. You really had to understand it. The turntables I had were crap as well. They were made of wood.
Okay.
One of them never had no bottom. It actually had a bit of cardboard. And they didn't have no pitch buttons. They had the pitch, but they didn't have no pitch buttons. So I had to get a fork, break off the 4 prongs, put some plastic on one end of them, put them in them things, and then I had pitch buttons.
No way.
Yeah?
That's mad.
I'm like, oh yeah, now I can manipulate. So you have to learn to mix, but the other thing you have to learn if you want to be a hip-hop DJ, in my day, is how to cut the beat. So that means this drum break, it lasts for 5 seconds. All right, maybe 10 seconds, but you're going to have a rapper, and he wants to rap over that beat. So you get 2 copies of it, bringing that 10 seconds, then that 10 seconds, then that, and you keep it on time, your rapper can rap over it, yeah?
Got ya.
But you've got to learn that. That's your basic skill, yeah? So, yeah, like I said, that's it. I just did that. And I love the street.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I love the street. So my mates just be, yo, come on, we're going. So I'm like, yo, man, I'm on the turntables. And my mum used to love it as well. Maybe not the noise, but she'd say to me, once you're up there and I can hear that noise, I know you're not out there getting up to no good. Yeah, so that's how I did that. And I told you, them turntables were crap. So the Holy Grail is a pair of Technics 1200s. And I nearly got some one night, went to a jam and it went off in there. What I mean by went off is all these naughty kids start playing up and everything. And but yeah, there was a load of hi-fi equipment unattended. And I could have had that.
Yeah.
But my mate said to me, one of the organisers said, yo, Kay, look, if this goes left, yeah, there may never be no hip-hop jams down here anymore. And I love hip-hop. I love my hip-hop. And I'm like, go on then. Yeah. Nothing's going to happen to them. But eventually I got a little job in that and I managed to get some 1200s and that was it. That was it. So that's how it come back. That's how I become a DJ. I used to listen to these tapes as well. I think this is pretty important, yeah, in terms of blowing my own trumpet a bit, but why I can mix anything, yeah, and I can mix for 2 hours straight, freestyle. I used to get these tapes from New York, these DJs, and that's what they did. They had a radio show, and these guys would mix. Sometimes I used to think they were remixes, but they weren't. Eventually I cottoned on. These guys are manipulating it to sound like it's a remix, but so I used to listen to those tapes religiously. So by the time I got turntables, I really understood how to put mixes together. Yeah, so, but yeah, that's how I eventually
got to
DJ
doing what you're doing. So can
you
give me something what irritates you about like the whole industry as well? Like, is there something what really annoys you in there?
Not really. I live and let live at the end of the day. I think if you're confident in your ability in anything, you don't really mind other artists, DJs, whatever, hairdressers. But I would say one of the downsides in the modern time is the laptop thing. Everybody got laptops, got loads of music. Hold on a sec. And everybody thought they were DJs.
Yeah.
Everybody in their mum was a DJ, right? And even to the other day, I see a stream, and there's a guy on there I know, and he's never been a mixer in all his days. But you'll see him on there, and it appears he's mixing. It appears he's mixing. He's not using those earphones, and he's got a fixed glare because he's not actually mixing. There's 2 sine waves on the screen. So all he's got to do is look at that screen and make sure they match, and the computer will do the rest, and it'll mix the tune.
Yeah.
So they're not mixing by, usually, traditionally, the beat's going out of there, and inside here, you've got the other record, and you match that beat to the one that's out there, and then you bring it in. And that's how you learn timing and everything. Whereas now, you've got an iMac Pro, you've got a thing called Virtual DJ, and it just matches everything up, and you just have to get these colours right on the screen. And I just think...
Would you say half of it's not, they're not really doing much of the work then?
It's all like an AI tool, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's like me buying a machine that plays a guitar.
Yeah.
And saying, listen, I want artistical credit for this machine that is now playing. Yeah. That's kind of how it goes in modern times. Yeah. So people get credit for the machine doing the work for them. But you know what? What I would say about that is it's not a spectacle.
Yeah.
It's a guy staring into a laptop. You might as well go and look for an office window. See, I'm being harsh now. If you ever watch me play, even though I'm using CDJs, hip-hop is a spectacle.
Yeah, man.
Yeah? So I don't use a laptop. I recreate what I would do with turntables. Memory sticks, duplicates of every record for the cut-in and everything else. And it's a spectacle. And that's what people don't realise. It's not just a case of that. Yeah. That's not novel at all. Yeah, it just ain't novel, is it? So, yeah, that would be my only bugbear. But, like I say, generally, in this time, those guys ain't more successful than me because it's not novel. It's not spectacle. Even if you're not into what I do, when you see me doing all of that, you kind of just stop and have a look. If you see a breakdancer, you stop and have a look. Graffiti artists, stop. Hip hop's a spectacle.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, on every level. It's like even if it's for a couple of seconds, you've got to stop and have a look. I think that's why I love it so much, why I was drawn to it as a kid. Yeah.
And where would you say the best places that you've ever played at?
Bro, you know, because I'll never admit to you how old I am, but I've played far and wide. Yeah. See, like this chain. So this is a mix of the old and new. The pendant is from when I was just like scally. Yeah, and we used to just bust the gold and all of that. And the chain I bought, because I went on a tour of the Midlands. Yeah, and played all these places. There was other artists on the bill at that, but I thought, yeah, I need to buy something to commemorate that I went on tour. All this stuff's beyond my wildest dreams, honestly. Anything out of my bedroom, yeah, was a bonus. Yeah. If I gave you a tape and you loved it and then someone taped it, and I won, yeah. Anything out there. And I think, I always say to people, you'll never be beaten, yeah, if you're doing it for art's sake. So I'm not doing it because I need to make a living from it. I'm not doing it because I've got low self-esteem and I need adulation. I do it for art's sake. I do it because I love creating mixes and that. So once I'm doing it for that and only them reasons, how can I lose?
Facts.
I love that, man. That's it.
100%.
And I was going to say, like, I bet part of your daily routine is just, every day you want it.
So, you know, I do a radio show on a Thursday night. So, and I've been doing it so long, not just the radio show, I practice. There's this line in a hip-hop record, only practice makes a real jam master.
Yeah, man.
It's got to be innate. Do you know what I'm saying? See, like I took up boxing.
Yeah.
I want it to be innate in me. Yeah, I want... You know what I mean by innate? It's just reflex. So same with the DJing. Wednesday night, sort the music, think what theme am I going to do, get all that together. Thursday night so Thursday morning, boxing, then work, then I get home and I make the mix, which probably takes me 2.5 hours. Then I go to the radio station and then I perform the mix. So at least once a week, I'm on there creating mixes. And even my own heroes, who I consider my Jedi masters, they'd create a mix and they'd run their mix on their show for 3 weeks. I don't. It's a different mix every single week.
Sick.
Yeah? Every single week. It's a brand new mix that I've just come up with. Thank goodness. Yeah? But yeah.
And I bet everyone listening to that appreciates that, innit?
Yeah,
that's
facts.
just organic, man.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So...
have you ever managed to like work with any brands and get any sponsorships or anything with what you're doing?
No, because when I was younger, I was realistic about what I was doing, and there wasn't more than 5 people in this country who made their living from being hip-hop DJs.
Yeah.
Yeah. So realistically, I wasn't going to make my living. So because this is my art, I need to be able to make money elsewhere. So I can do my art with I can only do it if you pay me. Or I can.
Yeah.
That's not my concern, because I got money. Yeah. I'm earning money somewhere. So I didn't really look for sponsors. And I think that worked for me because my phone's full of photos of me with some of the most influential hip-hop artists. So you've heard of like KRS-One. Woo, woo, that's like,
Yeah.
So when you go on my feed, you'll see me and KRS-One together. So I met all these dudes and through my DJing and whatever, which I think is probably bigger than any individual venue to meet these guys that are legends and my heroes.
Yeah. No, I hear it.
So, and obviously you know my kid, right, Shantae. Shantae's named after a rapper called Roxanne Shantae.
Yeah.
It's fun, and I met her as well. I've been in love with her since I was 14. Didn't even know what she looked like. Yeah. Somehow, the universe brought her right to my own town, and there's a photo of me and Roxanne Shantae. I'm telling you now, and I can't believe it. It's one of my most prized possessions. Yeah. Unfortunately, she was married.
Oh.
Yeah. I was supposed to marry Salt and Pepper as well. I'm talking to Salt and Pepper. Let me just tell you this before you ask me the next question.
Yeah.
So I went to a jam, and it was Salt and Pepper was on there, right? Boom. I've still got the ticket still. I was always down front at every jam, me and my idiot mates,
Yeah.
Even if we had to fight, we're down front.
Yeah, man.
So Salt and Pepper on there doing their thing. I love these girls. One of them comes and says, strokes my face and says, yeah. This guy's on our side. Then brings me up on stage, and I'm dancing. Thank God there was no camera phones, because I was probably as stiff as hell. Because I'm holding hands with one of Salt and Pepper on stage. Like that. I'm about 17. I'm like, yeah. God. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
I bet that's mad.
Oh, it's ridiculous, man. Yeah. I've met some people on my travels. You know who Ice-T is, yeah?
Yeah.
See? I tried to battle Ice-T one night, but not intentionally. Right? I was always taught by these older guys who regularly say, hey, Andrew, nobody move for no out of town.
Yeah.
Right? So we're in Sheffield. I'm in the doing that. Like that. And someone's trying to get by me. So, like that. And they're smaller than me as well. And they've got their hood up and everything. When I turn around, it's only Ice-T. He was performing that night, and in them days there, these hip-hop stars were only known to hip-hop people. So they'd be in the crowd and that. And yeah, it was Ice-T. He was about that big. But yeah, I was like, you're right. Cuff him. But yeah.
It was all cool though, yeah?
Yeah, it was brilliant. Yeah, man.
Sick, man. And I was going to touch on like mental health with this, yeah? And you know when you're playing, do you know how you describe your music like an art, man? Is that something where you'd say, you know what, when you're playing, everything just becomes at peace? Do you know what I'm saying? With all like, I don't know, let's say if you're feeling down on a day, mental health's down, and you start playing your music, is that your getaway?
Oh yeah, like the jam. I love playing jams. I love it. Even I'm walking home in the rain from the radio station. If people see me at 12:30, walking in the rain with my hood up and that, they're going to think I'm some kind of degenerate or someone with mental health problems. I was talking to myself saying, oh, I love this. Honestly, I'm laughing at myself thinking, look at you, out b-boying still. B-boying's the whole hip-hop thing, right?
Yeah.
So you're out b-boying at your age on a school night, yeah? And you love it, and I do. I love it. So in terms of my mental health, it keeps me young, man. Seriously, it really does keep me young. There's no downside to it. And like I said to you, because I'm not doing it for, right, I should have more streams than that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not doing it for that. I'd rather have 5 people follow me who really get it than all these followers that are just...
Floating for no reason.
Yeah. So, no, mental health-wise, no, it's great. It's a great release. It really is. It really is.
What's the future plans and the goals, man? Where are we going with it?
I've just carry on doing what I do. It's all I've ever done. Like I told you, I was just a soppy kid that managed to get the equipment and some records. And the next thing, someone said to me, do you want to play on a radio station? I'm like, really? And that's it. I started playing on a radio station, I think, in 1991. 1990, actually, was my first show on a pirate station, which was in Leicester, Fresh FM. But yeah, that was my first show. And like I told you, I'd been listening to these guys from New York. They were my heroes. And now I was getting the opportunity. Even now, I tell you, I'm living the dream, yo.
Yeah.
I play on a real live FM station. I told you, anything out of that bedroom, yeah, is
a bonus.
Is a bonus. And, you know, for whatever reason, I got 23,500 followers on Facebook.
Sick.
Yeah. And my streams, and I'll probably post them later. Like, I did a Valentine's special. So I did this Valentine's special, but it's not Valentine's as you might think Valentine's. It was a hip-hop Valentine's thing, but the messages I got and the feedback, especially from the girls, saying, oh, I was dancing all night, or whatever, that's better than money to me. When people really appreciate your art, that's better than anything, yeah.
I was going to say, because like, every time I see anything on your Facebook page, everyone just shows like love for real, like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And after the UK, my biggest audience is America, but specifically New York, which is where all this stuff comes from.
Yeah.
So, and these guys are my age, so they grew up listening to what I grew up listening to. So if they like it, that's the ultimate compliment for me. That is the ultimate compliment. These New Yorkers say, yo, this is the thing, man. Yeah.
That's sick, man. And if you could give, like, I'm not just talking about music now yet, but I'm talking about anything in general. If you could give anyone a piece of advice on anything, what would it be?
Be consistent. That's one. Consistency. Yeah. If you're going to do it, know that it's not going to be all fun and games all the times. You're just going to have to keep going on. And a bit of bravery, because society will give you rules. Oh, well, you're this age or you're from this, so you've got to do... No. Where's that written? And you're going to get naysayers as well, who are not as brave as you. So you'll say, I'm going to do this. Oh, no, I don't think that'll work. Why not? I just don't think it'll work. Then you've got a reason. Yeah. So I always think it's better to try something and fail at it than 20 years down the line rubbing your chin thinking, I wonder what would have happened if I would have tried that, or if I would have tried that. I used to play on a radio station, and I ended up leaving that radio station. But once I did, and I figured out, for a long time, I was investing a lot of energy. Misguided loyalty.
Yeah.
So I was investing, oh, we're down, I'm on a radio station, we're a team, I'm going to promote you lot. And the more bookings I was getting, the more people was looking at me sideways. And especially like people who kind of ran the radio station, they were moaning. Some people are getting more out of this than other people. That's because I was putting in the work. Every gig I got, I was wearing their logo on my, advertising, and it weren't good enough for them. Anyway, I left, and I figured out, you need to put all that energy into your own thing. Create that logo, and then I built this brand now. DJ KMS, Golden Age Hiphop, yeah? And it's a brand. Everything you see, you'll see that little watermark on it, won't you? Yeah? I've got the T-shirts designed and everything. needless to say, I've got double the followers of that radio station, or any of their DJ, all of them put together, a whole lot of them put together.
That's sick. That's sick, man.
That is hard.
Yeah, so...
Man's just come out of it and just doubled what they've got and just sitting there like...
And showing what you could actually do as soon as you put consistency and just...
The DJs, their DJs don't get booked for nothing. Yeah, the biggest gigs they get are like church fetes and stuff like that. Yeah. So that was the bravery of saying, I'm not going to put up with this crap. I think what I've got, I could take to anywhere and it would actually work.
Because you know your worth.
So, but you've got to be brave enough to know that and say, you know what, I'm going to take this. I'm going to take this risk.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, the consistency and bravery.
Before we wrap it up, where can everyone find you on Insta, YouTube? Like, what's everything called? Where's it all at?
So, DJ KMS on Instagram, and DJ KMS's Golden Age Hip Hop page on Facebook. And the reason it's DJ KMS's Golden Age Hip Hop page, because I didn't go on social media till about 2016, because these younger kids I know said, okay, if you're going to keep doing this DJ thing, you need to have social media. So I've wrote in page, thinking, but anyway, it stayed like that. But the weird thing is sometimes you make a mistake, and it sticks.
Just roll with it.
And you just roll with it, and it works. So Facebook, DJ KMS Golden Age Hip Hop page. YouTube, I ain't got a channel, but weirdly enough, I was scrolling through Facebook today, and someone's made a YouTube video of me playing their record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
I'm also on the record. Someone sampled the radio show of me saying something and put it as the intro of their record.
That's sick.
And the record then got to #1 on the New York college circuit. So the guy then sent me a plaque from New York. No. So with DJ KMS on it, thank you for... it's absolutely mad, isn't it? But mad. I told you, beyond my wildest dreams, all of it.
That's sick.
Crazy, isn't it?
That's sick,
That is actually hard.
You need to jump on YouTube. You need to jump on it.
Maybe.
You can do live streams as well, man.
Yeah,
this is what I'm saying.
Sick.
But you know what? If you do make one, let me know, because I'm going to tag it in this, and we'll dive at everyone over your way as well, though,
Yeah, cool.
But listen, thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah,
I
pleasure,
really appreciate it, man.
Pleasure. All right.
Thank you
Respect,
so much.
Respect.
Thank you.